A week ago, I was at my friend's house. We're just sitting there, and he starts telling me about this couch he bought 8 months ago from one of those big furniture stores. Nice couch. Around 2,000 bucks. He used the store card because they gave him this 12-month no-interest deal, and he's been paying it down. Not aggressively, but paying. He's got maybe $300 left on it. He's proud of himself. He's like, yeah, man, I'll knock that out before the deadline. No problem. And I just sat there because I know what's coming for him. And he has absolutely no idea. See, what my friend doesn't know, and honestly, what about half the country doesn't know, is that the deal he signed up for isn't actually a no-interest deal. It's a deferred interest deal. And those two things sound identical, but they are so fundamentally different that it's almost criminal they're allowed to be marketed the same way. And that's what this whole video is about. Not some generic credit card advice. I want to show you a specific mechanism that is running right now inside the most popular store credit cards in America. The ones at Home Depot, Best Buy, Amazon, Wayfair, your dentist's office, your vet, everywhere. And once I show you how it actually works under the hood, you're going to be furious that nobody told you sooner. Okay, so here's what happened with my friend's couch. He bought it for $2,000. The store said no interest for 12 months. Great. He's been making payments. By month 11, he's down to $300. He's feeling good. But here's what's been happening in the background the entire time. From the day he swiped that card, interest has been building silently every single day at around 30% on the full $2,000, not on his remaining balance, on the original amount. The card company has been keeping a running tab that he can't see. And that tab, by month 12, is sitting at roughly $500 in accumulated interest. Now, if he pays that last $300 before the deadline, that $500 in shadow interest disappears. Gone. He wins. But if he's even one day late, if he has even a few dollars left, that entire $500 gets dumped onto his balance. Instantly, his $300 remaining balance becomes $800 overnight. For a couch. And this isn't some rare gotcha buried in one sketchy card. About 80% of store cards with 0% offers are actually deferred interest products. 80%. So when you see no interest for 12 months at basically any major retailer in this country, the odds are overwhelming that you're looking at deferred interest, not true 0% APR. And I need to explain the difference because this is where the whole thing falls apart. A true 0% APR card, the kind you get from, say, a Chase or Discover mailer, those actually pause interest. When the promo ends, you start getting charged interest on whatever balance is left going forward. So, if you owe $500 when the promo expires, cool, you pay interest on $500 from that point on. That's straightforward. That's what everyone assumes all promotional offers do. Deferred interest doesn't work like that. Deferred means delayed, not waived, not paused, delayed. The interest has been piling up this whole time. You just couldn't see it because the card company wasn't posting it to your account yet. They were holding it, waiting. And the moment that promotional window closes with any balance remaining, any balance, even a few cents, they release all of it, retroactively, on your full original purchase price, going all the way back to day one. A study from WalletHub ran the numbers on this and found that getting caught by deferred interest versus having a true 0% card costs you roughly 27.5 times more in interest charges. Same purchase, same timeline, 27 times more expensive because of one word buried in the fine print. And I keep coming back to this stat because it won't leave my head. 52% of consumers don't understand how deferred interest works. Half the people walking into these stores, signing up for these cards, have no clue what they've actually agreed to. Let me run you through a bigger example because I want you to feel this in real dollar amounts. You're renovating your kitchen. You go to Home Depot, spend $5,000 on materials and appliances. They offer you the store card with special financing for 12 months. You take it. The regular APR on that card is somewhere around 27 to 30%, depending on your creditworthiness. But for now, you're in the promo period, so you're not thinking about that number. You pay diligently. 12 months later, you've paid off $4,800. You've got $200 left. Maybe you forgot. Maybe a payment got delayed. Maybe you had a rough month and figured you'd catch up. Doesn't matter why. That $200 leftover balance just triggered roughly $1,000 in retroactive interest charges because the card has been quietly calculating 30% interest on $5,000 for 12 straight months. And now, it's all due. Your $200 oops just became $1,200. And here's what makes me genuinely angry about this. The minimum payment they put on your statement every month? It's calculated to keep you in good standing with the account, not to pay off the balance before the promo ends. The CFPB, that's the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. The government agency that's supposed to be watching this stuff, they've said it plainly. Your minimum payments probably won't be enough to pay off the entire balance by the end of the deferred interest period. So the card company sets up a deal where you have to pay in full within 12 months. Then they send you a minimum payment bill every month that they know won't get you there in 12 months. And then when you don't get there, they charge you retroactive interest on the full amount. That's not an accident, that's architecture. And it gets messier because the promotional deadline and your billing due date, those are often different dates. Your no interest window might expire on January 3rd, but your credit card bill might not be due until January 15th. So you think you're fine because you're paying on time according to your statement. But the promo already expired 12 days ago. You're already caught. I want to talk about the medical side of this because it's the part that genuinely keeps me up at night. CareCredit. You've probably seen it at a dentist's office or a vet clinic. It's accepted at over 260,000 healthcare providers across the country. And it's a deferred interest card with a regular APR of 32.99% on new accounts. Picture this, your dog needs emergency surgery. It's $3,000. You're panicking. The receptionist at the vet hands you a CareCredit application and says you can finance it interest-free. You fill it out right there in the waiting room because your dog is in pain and you need to make a decision now. What that receptionist probably didn't explain, and honestly might not even fully understand, is that this is a deferred interest product. If you don't pay off every penny of that $3,000 before the promo period ends, you get hit with retroactive interest at nearly 33%. On $3,000, that's close to $500 in interest that appears out of nowhere. And a writer at US News, someone who literally covers credit cards for a living, shared that they fell for this exact thing. Signed up for CareCredit at the vet without fully understanding it was deferred interest. Had to pull hundreds of dollars out of savings at the last minute to avoid getting crushed by retroactive charges. If a financial journalist almost got caught, what chance does everyone else have? The CFPB actually found that patients who qualify for financial assistance programs at hospitals often aren't told those programs exist. Instead, they get steered toward cards like CareCredit. So people who could potentially get help with their bills for free are instead being signed up for 33% deferred interest products while they're scared, while they're vulnerable, while they're sitting in a medical office worrying about their health. Between 2018 and 2020, American consumers paid $1 billion in deferred interest. $1 billion. And Synchrony Bank, which issues CareCredit, reported making $3.7 billion in interest and fees from CareCredit accounts in a single year. That's not a side hustle for them. That's the business model. And you'd think maybe this is getting better over time. Maybe regulators are pushing for more transparency. But no. Research from 2025 actually showed that the average transparency score for deferred interest offers decreased. Retailers are getting worse at disclosing this, not better. Best Buy was ranked as the least transparent major retailer for deferred interest in 2025. 94% of all deferred interest cards come from just 3 banks: Synchrony, Citi, and Comenity. 3 banks run almost this entire system. These aren't random small lenders. These are institutions that have refined this mechanism over decades. Okay, so what do you actually do with all of this? Honestly, the single most powerful thing is just knowing the vocabulary. When you see no interest if paid in full, notice that word, if. A true 0% APR offer doesn't need that word. It just says 0% APR for 12 months. Done. The if is the flag. The if is what tells you this is deferred interest. You'll also see it disguised as special financing or promotional financing. Same thing, different costume. If you're already inside one of these deals right now, and statistically, some of you watching this are, open your account tonight. Look at your promotional deadline, not your payment due date. Your promotional deadline. Then take whatever balance you have left and divide it by however many months you have remaining. -1. Give yourself a 1-month cushion. That's your actual monthly payment from now on. Ignore the minimum they're billing you. And I know this sounds obvious, but it needs to be said. Do not use that store card for anything else while you're in a promotional period. Because here's what happens. You buy a lamp on that same card for $80. Now you have 2 balances. And any extra payment you make above the minimum goes toward the higher interest balance first, not your deferred interest balance. So you could be throwing extra money at the card thinking you're paying down your promo balance and none of it is going there. It's going to the lamp. If you're running out of time and you know you can't pay it off, look into a balance transfer. Move whatever's left to a true 0% APR card before the deferred interest deadline. Yeah, you'll pay a balance transfer fee, usually 3 to 5%. But 3% of a remaining balance is a whole lot better than 30% of your original purchase. And if someone ever hands you a store credit card application, at a checkout counter, at a doctor's office, anywhere, just ask one question. Is this true 0% or is the interest deferred? If they hesitate, if they don't know, if they start reading from the brochure, that's your answer. Walk away and figure out another way to finance it. A personal loan at 8 or 10% is dramatically cheaper than getting caught in a deferred interest trap at 33%. Look, I called my friend after I started putting this video together, told him everything I just told you, and there was this long silence on the phone. Because he had $300 left on that furniture card and 2 months to go. He paid it off that night. That's all I want from this video. I want you to check your accounts tonight, and I want you to send this to one person who you know shops at these stores and uses these cards. Because the entire system is betting on the fact that people won't read the fine print, won't understand the difference, and won't pay it off in time. And 52% of the time, that bet pays off for them. Don't be in that 52%. I'll catch you in the next one.